You're watching Netrush Report, your ultimate destination for tennis drama, rivalries, and the stories that shape the sport's greatest champions. During his exceptional run at the 2025 Paris Masters, Jannick Sinner once again amazed fans and analysts alike with his laser-like focus and unmatched precision on the court. Yet, as dominant and composed as he appeared in play, not everyone was entirely impressed with his demeanor away from it. Speaking on his RMC Sport podcast, journalist Stephen Brunn made waves when he criticized Sinner's attitude during media interactions. Brunn claimed that Sinner's behavior with the press seemed cold and emotionless, a version of the Italian star that felt detached and unapproachable. He had no smile, no spark, no emotion, Brunn said, noting that the 24-year-old appeared distant in his post-match interviews. This perception stood in sharp contrast to Sinner's performances on court, calm but fiery, intense yet measured. Brunn went further, admitting he started to get on my nerves. While he had once admired Sinner's serene focus and quiet strength, he confessed that the Italian's lack of visible emotion had changed his opinion. It's an interesting criticism, given that Sinner's stoicism has long been part of his identity and a defining feature of his rise to the top. To many fans, his ability to stay unshaken under the pressure of the biggest moments is precisely what sets him apart from his more volatile peers. However, for others, that same control can seem robotic, as if he's emotionally disconnected from the passion that fuels the sport. Brunn's comments reflect a broader debate among tennis fans and pundits about whether champions should also be entertainers. Those who know Sinner well, however, insist that the outward calm hides a much deeper and more complex personality. Beneath that quiet surface lies a fierce competitor who feels every point, every miss, and every victory intensely, but channels it inward rather than expressing it outwardly. Earlier this year, after his French Open quarterfinal victory over Andrei Rublev, Sinner opened up about his emotional challenges in a rare moment of honesty. At the beginning of my young career, he said, the storm was also outside, not only inside. It was a telling statement, one that revealed how he has learned to contain his emotions and use them as fuel rather than allowing them to spill out uncontrollably. While his face may appear expressionless at times, that doesn't mean the emotions aren't there. Beneath that calm focus lies a whirlpool of adrenaline, frustration, and determination, all carefully managed and refined through experience. That emotional discipline is part of what has carried him to the top of men's tennis. His Paris Masters victory was another example of this controlled brilliance. With every match, he seemed to get stronger, dispatching opponents with clinical precision and composure. The win not only added another major title to his growing list, but also restored him to the world #1 ranking, following Carlos Alcaraz's early exit from the tournament. Even after such a monumental achievement, Sinner's reactions remain understated. No wild celebrations, no roars of triumph, just a calm smile, a handshake, and a quiet acknowledgement of another job well done. For some, that humility and restraint symbolize maturity and professionalism. For others, it feels almost too restrained, as if something human and emotional is missing. But maybe that's exactly what makes Sinner unique. In an era where tennis is often defined by big personalities, from Novak Djokovic's theatrics to Carlos Alcaraz's infectious energy, Sinner represents the opposite end of the spectrum. He is the embodiment of quiet intensity, a player who lets his tennis do the talking. This understated approach might not make for the flashiest interviews, but has clearly made him one of the most effective competitors on tour. His cool temperament allows him to focus entirely on the game, shutting out distractions and media noise. And perhaps, in a sport that constantly demands emotion and drama, his calmness is its own kind of rebellion. Still, Brunn's criticism raises a valid question. Should the world #1 show more emotion off the court? Does being a global ambassador for the sport come with the responsibility to be more expressive, more media-friendly, more human? Or is Sinner's quiet determination exactly what the sport needs? A reminder that greatness doesn't always need to be loud. Tennis, after all, has always been a stage for both athletic excellence and personality. Fans often connect as much with the player's charisma as with their forehand. And in that sense, Brunn's comments reflect a deeper cultural conversation, one about what fans expect from modern champions. Yet, those close to Sinner argue that he's simply being authentic. He's not pretending, not performing. He is who he is, calm, introspective, and entirely focused on his craft. His lack of visible emotion isn't arrogance or indifference. It's a reflection of his deep concentration and his unique way of managing pressure. And when you look closer, you can see that the passion is there, in the precision of his strokes, the intensity of his eyes during long rallies, and the way he refuses to crumble even when a match hangs by a thread. His silence isn't emptiness. Its focus as the ATP Finals in Turin draw near. All eyes will once again be on Sinner, not just to see if he can continue his incredible form, but also to see if that stoic mask ever slips. Will he show more emotion? Or will he remain the picture of icy composure, a tennis enigma whose power lies in his mystery? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. Jannick Sinner has carved out a space in tennis unlike anyone else. He may not shout, celebrate wildly, or joke endlessly with the press, but when he steps on the court, he commands attention. His calm is not the absence of emotion. It is mastery over it. And that, perhaps, is what defines a true champion that you're watching Netrush Report, where every rivalry, emotion, and controversy has a story waiting to be told. Until next time, stay tuned for more insights into the heart of tennis and the players who make it legendary.